Welcome back to the Black and Gold Report. I'm Cameron Songer, joined now by UNCP men's basketball coach Ben Miller. Coach, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Cameron.
Since the last time we had you on, your team went on a 3-game losing streak, but then turned it around, won 4 straight. Those 3 losses were decided by a combined 9 points. What about those close games was tough for your team?
Well, any loss is tough, but obviously our losses have been decided by a bucket or 2 here or there. So I think our guys understand that we're capable. We didn't play as well as we could have. The other teams played well too. So every game, is tough in the Peach Belt. So you got to be ready. And I think in some ways, my hope is those losses were good for us, and we, learn and grow, and it'll help us over the course of the season.
The Braves were able to turn around after those 4 games, or after those 3 games, winning the next 4. What was the message to the team about getting back on track?
Well, getting back to our identity of playing defense. We can score the ball. I think we lead the league in scoring, and that's been pretty consistent throughout the year. We have a lot of weapons, a lot of guys that can put the ball in the basket. And the games where we've defended and rebounded, those are the ones where we've been at our best. Even the nice thing about a couple of those wins, we didn't shoot it very well. There's been times where we've relied so heavily on our offense that when we won't, some games that wasn't enough. You can't always outscore people. So some of those wins, we did not shoot it very well. So we really had to buckle in and defend and rebound and play together as a team and just keep grinding and, having faith in each other to try to pull out some victories.
Of those 4 wins, 2 of them on the road and the last 2 coming in overtime. Has your team turned a corner, especially when it comes to those close games?
I don't know if any team ever turns the corner. I think you gain experience from, sometimes the success isn't always a great teacher. We had a great winning streak where we were winning by pretty large margins. And, human nature is you relax, you listen to all the compliments and pats on the back, and you don't always stay as focused. So I think sometimes, as painful as losing is, it can be a good teacher. And I think our guys have buckled down and understood that, hey, if we want to be in this conference race, we got to be ready to go every night. We got to buy into our team philosophy, and plain and simple, we got to play harder.
Before the last home game, there was a ceremony recognizing Alex Bradley for reaching 1,000 career points. What has his senior presence done for the team?
Well, as a head coach, I feel blessed to have, Alex is a 5th-year senior. College basketball has not always been easy for Alex. He was leading scorer in Fayetteville, the Cumberland County area, top-ranked team in the state. And, when you go to college, you're playing with a lot of other guys that can score and do things. So he's had to adjust from being a high-scoring point guard to being a guy that distributes and looks to score. But he's got tremendous leadership, and I think he's grown into that role, especially this senior year. And it's neat to see him playing really well. In games where he doesn't shoot it well, he still leads and does those little things that it takes to win.
Right behind Bradley, you have a freshman point guard in Micah Kinsey, who's been electrifying coming off the bench. What makes his game special, and is it hard to balance the playing time between those two?
Well, not really. Micah understands he's a freshman and that, he's got to, earn his time. But he changes the game when he hits the floor. He's a tremendous athlete. I think he leads the league in steals, which is phenomenal considering he plays probably 12, 14 minutes a game. But he obviously he's active defensively. He can rebound the ball, and he can really attack the basket, get to the paint to score or get other guys good shots. A really good passer, just brings a lot of energy. So he's a great addition.
Keep it here, Braves fans. We'll be right back with more with UNCP men's basketball coach Ben Miller. Back here on the UNCP Sports Black and Gold Report, I'm Cameron Songer, joined once again by men's basketball coach Ben Miller. Coach, we talked about freshman guard Micah Kinsey. Another freshman, Akia Pruitt, has been really big for your team this year. He leads the team in rebounds, leads the conference in blocked shots. But what's really been impressive, I think, has been this development of his offensive game. What is the area he's improved the most in since stepping on campus day one?
Well, to be honest with you, he's been pretty impressive from day one. He brings a lot of energy. He's Honestly, relatively new to the game. He's only played maybe 3 or 4 years of organized basketball. He didn't really play on a team growing up, but he's very athletic. He's got a great motor, as we like to say. He's just always running, jumping, being active, talking on defense. He came from a really good high school program. And so I think that really helped his transition because they played a lot of man-to-man defense. R.J. Reynolds and Coach Martin that he played for just did a great job getting him ready for this level. And he played on a good team, so he wasn't the only option. So he's used to playing with a balanced offensive attack. He can score the ball, but he contributes in so many ways. Even when he's not scoring, he's going to get a block, get a rebound, play defense. So he's, again, like Micah, he's been a great addition to the team.
One more regular season home game for UNC Pembroke. It's senior day against rival Francis Marion on the 22nd. What will the emotions be like for that game? And talk a little bit about the senior class. It's
always, bittersweet. The good part, I do believe this team's going to be together for a while longer after senior day. And if we take care of business, we could have another home game the 25th, that first round. So while we know that it's not final, it is emotional just because you really get close to those guys, and what all 3 of those seniors have meant to the program is really special. I think we signed Alex first. We already talked about Alex and his contributions and his development and maturity as a leader this senior year, and is really special. And then as a coach, it's amazing to have 2 fifth-year, Quamain actually is in his 6th year, guards, and you can't put a price on that experience. Those guys, are both leaders for our program with their effort, with their unselfishness, and their abilities. And I think, it's really a blessing for me. It was tough last year when we lost Quamain, but having him back this year and seeing him and Alex in the backcourt together as seniors is really something special. Alex has already graduated. Quamain is going to be the first in his family to graduate college this spring, so that's awesome as well. And then, Mike Smith has been such a great addition. Mike showed up on campus a couple years ago, and I had no clue who he was. We hadn't recruited him. He came from a junior college. He bounced around and wanted to try out for the team. And Coach Richards likes to tell the story. I was recruiting that day. I wasn't at the first day of tryouts, and all they did is run. I don't think there's a ball out there. He just ran them. And Mike was the only kid tough enough and in good enough shape to finish the running. And then by the end of the 3-day tryouts, we gave him a chance with the team, and he came and he competed, played hard, and you just bring so much heart and toughness to the program. But 3 great seniors. We're going to miss them, but we're going to enjoy the ride with them as long as we can. We talked about how this could be potentially the last home game, but maybe not. Your team is currently in line to host an opening round game. How much do you look at potential matchups, and is there any team you would or maybe wouldn't want to play? Honestly, I don't even think about it. And, we challenge our team to do the same. We got to be focused on today's practice, the next game, and, being in the moment as a team, as a coach, as an athlete is so critical, because if you spend too much time looking back or looking forward, you're going to get lost in the shuffle, and you're going to, not do what you're capable of. So, I think it's fun for the fans to think about it, and, my assistants may look, but I really think we all need to be focused on the next game because they're all so critical this time of year. That next game is a road game today at Flagler. What does your team need to do to come away with the victory, and what can you tell us about the Saints? Well, they're very, very good scoring the ball. I mean, they got 4 or 5 guys out there that can shoot threes, and so they don't really have a traditional post player, but they can all shoot it and drive it. So it's a tough matchup for some of our big guys because you got to get out there and guard all of them. Sometimes you play big guys that can't shoot it outside the paint. So we got to really defend the 3-point line, but we also have to contain the dribble. And then, they're going to change up their defenses as well. And we're also, their coach is retiring. So emotionally, they're going to be hyped up, and they're going to play extremely hard. They're honoring Bo Clark. It's the Bo Clark Day. So that I expect the gym to be packed. It's going to be a tough environment, but I think our guys will be excited about the challenge. Coach Ben Miller, thanks for your time. Thanks, Cam.
That's all the time we have this week. For more information on UNCP athletics, including tickets, live stats, and live broadcasts, visit uncpbraves.com. Until next week, go Braves.